So the
yeah.
only problem we have is that your sister doesn't behave.
So once I figured this out, I felt like I figured out the secret to the universe, honestly.
Your relationship with your sister is only your thoughts about her. All your thoughts about her are negative because I think you think she's the one to blame here. You have so much judgment about her. So you're judging her so harshly and then feeling sorry for yourself and like a victim. And then you wonder why your relationship with her is terrible. You're like, she doesn't do this and she doesn't do this and she acts like this and she does this with them and then she doesn't do it with me and then she doesn't talk to me and then
That's
and I
true.
feel bad and she should do this stuff for me and I feel bad about that. But listen, if you just loved your sister and you called her up and said, how are you doing? And you didn't complain about the way she answered, you didn't get upset about the way she acted, you'd be able to enjoy her so much more. But you have a manual for how your sister should behave. And it's so judgmental. You're just judging her so much. You're so caught in this loop right now. There's no way. There's no way you've tried it. You're like, I'll just let her be who she is. That's fine, right? That's very different than just being like, I love my sister. If she doesn't want to talk to me or behave this way or do this, like, I'm in. You haven't given her the space to just be where she's at and do what she does because you're like, you're my family. You should want to get together with me. You're my family. You should want to do this, that. You should text me back. You should try and come and see me. You believe that with your heart so deeply that it's costing you your relationship with your sister because you're judging her and you're so mad at her about it. Oh, no. Listen, as long as this is her fault, you're never going to stop suffering because you're mad at her for not being who you want her to be. She didn't read the rule book on families. You know how to do it. It's just really going to be hard for you because the way that you tell me, how do you do it? How do you have a relationship with your sister that isn't full of judgment and self-pity? Here's why you feel this way. The reason why you feel like you have to numb your heart is because you feel like you can't let go of your expectations of her. So you're always going to be disappointed. And if you're always going to be disappointed, you have to numb that rejection. You have to numb that disappointment. But if you let go of the expectation, there's no reason to be disappointed. There's no reason to be mad at her because there's no expectation on how she should behave. Now, the reason why I said you don't want to do that is that is hard. But it's not as hard as what you're going through because you just keep beating the crap out of yourself with her actions and you blame her, which makes you feel powerless and helpless and like a victim. And you feel so unloved. And then you withhold love from her because of the way that you feel like that, and then you just constantly judge her. So you don't get to feel love for your sister because you're so busy judging her behavior and feeling bad about yourself. These relationships that are like this are the best relationships for learning this work, right? This is how you should behave. This is what you should do. And they just won't do it. So then you have to adjust yourself. Am I willing to love my sister unconditionally, drop my expectations for how she should behave, allow her to treat me differently than the rest of the family, and still have a relationship with her that doesn't meet this manual in my mind, but meets what's available in reality? When you're trying to control someone, they can feel it. When you're judging someone, they can feel it. And so you're creating so much of this dynamic because of your expectation and your judgment that she should be better with your kids and she should be better with you and she should treat you differently at parties. And so then you end up withholding love from her and judging her, but then blaming her and feeling powerless. Here's what I'm going to offer you. This is the deepest work. It only takes one person to make a relationship awesome. She doesn't have to change at all. How she's acting, what she's doing is perfection. Now what? The reason why you're so hurt is because of all your expectations of how she should behave. So you think you're hurt because of how she's behaving, but you're really hurt because of your expectations of how she should behave. Huge difference. Because if you're hurt because of how she's behaving, we got to change the way she's behaving. But if you're hurt because of your expectations of how she should behave, then we get our power back. The only problem I see is your incessant judgment of her and expectation of her. That's what's truly making this relationship so painful. If you didn't have expectations of her, you could just love her. That's a big difference. People, listen, that's a big difference than letting go of the hurt. Because if you think you have to let go of the hurt, you're still in blame. You're still in expectation and blame. And you're trying to solve for the effect of the problem that you're creating. But if you can solve for letting go of the expectation, then there's no reason to be hurt. You're hurt that she doesn't have a relationship with your kids because you think she should have a certain type of relationship with your kids. If you didn't think that, there'd be nothing to be hurt about. Then you could let go of those expectations, because now listen, if I thought you could change her and fix her and make the relationship the way you want it to be in your mind, then I might encourage you to do that. But the only thing I want to do is help you change your mind, because the suffering you're creating in your own experience of your sister is completely optional. It's totally unnecessary. And it will make you feel so powerful to be able to own that and bring that back in, because right now you feel so powerless. She doesn't come by. She doesn't talk to you. She doesn't text you back. Like, that is the worst feeling. When you expect them to, right? When you expect them to, that's the worst feeling, and you can't, there's no way out of it. The only way out of it is to tell them how to do it differently, and they won't even take your text. But I want to tell you this too. This isn't just about you and your sister. This isn't just about your relationship with your sister that I know is so important for you. This is about your evolvement as a human. This is about your ability to find a way to love unconditionally, to find a way to manage your mind, to find a way to drop out of judgment and expectation to the next version of yourself. So the strategic byproduct is you'll have a way better relationship with your sister, but you'll also really be able to take back so much of your power, because if you're doing it with your sister, you're doing it in other areas. That's some hard work. I did all that work on my mother, and it was so worth it. It affected all of my other relationships so positively, especially my relationship with myself. Because when we're trying to control all the people, we get tired.
So you're wondering, should I join Scholars?
Hi there, it's Brooke Castillo.
We teach you about your mental health. We teach you about your thoughts and thinking and cognition.
The truth is in our brain.
We teach you about your emotions and how much they affect what you do in your life. If you feel like you're just riding the line of normalcy or mediocrity and you want more, Scholars is the solution for that. For those of you who want to join me, simply click on the button to enroll, fill out the form. I will give you full access to the website within minutes. I'm thrilled that you are interested in becoming a scholar, and I can't wait to see you in class.